Why are there not more people talking about the different forms of grief? It is the natural response to any significant loss in our lives. While we often associate grief with the death of a loved one, it can also arise from various other forms of loss. These can include the end of a relationship, job loss, or significant life changes. Each loss creates a void in our lives, disrupting our sense of normalcy and leaving us grappling with a range of emotions. Recognizing the multifaceted nature of grief is essential in understanding the profound impact it can have on our well-being. It is a testament to our capacity for love, connection, and the profound ways in which our lives are shaped by the people, experiences, and things we hold dear. I bet you didn't know grief is not a one-size-fits-all experience. It unfolds uniquely for each individual, shaped by factors like personality, coping mechanisms, life experiences, and the nature of the loss itself. There is no right or wrong way to grieve, and the intensity and duration of grief can vary greatly. Some may experience grief as a tidal wave of intense emotions, while others may navigate it as a subtle undercurrent in their lives. Understanding this individuality is crucial for extending compassion to ourselves and others as we navigate the often unpredictable waters of loss. Grief manifests in a myriad of emotions that can ebb and flow like the tide. Sadness, often the most readily recognized emotion associated with grief, can feel all-encompassing, leaving us with a profound sense of emptiness and yearning for what has been lost. Anger, too, is a common companion to grief.
We may direct anger towards the circumstances of the loss, towards ourselves, or even towards the person we have lost. Guilt often emerges as we grapple with unresolved issues or unexpressed emotions, leading to a sense of regret or responsibility for the loss.
Anxiety, fear, and a sense of vulnerability are also common emotional responses as we confront the uncertainty and fragility of life. What's something people don't know about grief? It extends beyond the emotional realm, often manifesting in physical ways that can surprise and even alarm us. Fatigue can be overwhelming, as if our bodies are carrying the weight of our emotional burdens. Appetite and sleep patterns can be disrupted, leading to changes in weight, energy levels, and overall physical well-being. Some individuals experience physical pain, such as headaches, stomach aches, or muscle tension, as their bodies respond to the emotional stress of grief. Recognizing these physical manifestations is crucial for seeking appropriate care and support. Understanding that grief's impact on our physical health is just as real and significant as its impact on our emotional well-being. Cognitive responses to loss.
Grief can significantly impact our cognitive processes, affecting our ability to think clearly, remember details, and concentrate. Confusion and disorientation are common experiences, as if our minds are struggling to make sense of a world that no longer feels familiar.
Intrusive thoughts related to the loss can surface unexpectedly, causing distress and disrupting our daily activities.
Disbelief, a protective mechanism in the early stages of grief, can lead to a sense of detachment from reality as we struggle to accept the permanence of the loss. These cognitive challenges are normal responses to the overwhelming nature of grief and often gradually subside as we process our loss.
Behavioral shifts in the shadow of grief.
Grief's impact extends to our behaviors and social interactions, often leading to significant shifts in our routines and engagement with the world. These changes can be subtle or profound, affecting how we connect with others and how we perceive our surroundings. Social withdrawal is a common response as we seek solace and space to process our emotions without the demands of social interaction. This retreat can be a way to protect ourselves from further emotional strain, allowing us to grieve in a more private and controlled environment.
Loss of interest in activities that once brought joy and meaning is also prevalent, as our energy and motivation dwindle under the weight of grief. Hobbies and pastimes that used to be sources of happiness may now feel burdensome or irrelevant.
Changes in routines, such as sleep patterns, eating habits, and overall daily structure, are common. Insomnia or excessive sleeping, loss of appetite or overeating, and difficulty concentrating are all manifestations of the internal turmoil caused by grief. Work productivity often suffers as well, reflecting the disruption grief brings to our daily lives. Tasks that once seemed manageable can become overwhelming, and maintaining focus can be a constant struggle. Substance use may emerge as a coping mechanism, albeit an unhealthy one, as individuals attempt to numb emotional pain or escape the reality of their loss. This can lead to a cycle of dependency and further complicate the grieving process.
Recognizing these behavioral changes is essential for seeking support, establishing healthy coping mechanisms, and gradually re-engaging with life in meaningful ways. Understanding that these shifts are a natural part of the grieving process can help individuals navigate their journey with more compassion and self-awareness. Spiritual seeking and questioning.
Grief often leads to profound spiritual searching and questioning, prompting us to re-examine our beliefs, values, and understanding of life and death. For some, grief may deepen existing spiritual beliefs, offering solace and strength in times of adversity.
Others may find their faith challenged as they grapple with the seeming unfairness or randomness of loss.
A search for meaning and purpose is common as we try to make sense of the loss and its impact on our lives. Renewed spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, or connecting with nature can offer comfort, guidance, and a sense of connection during times of grief.
Navigating anticipatory and complicated grief. While grief is, a natural response to loss, certain types of grief, such as anticipatory grief and complicated grief, present unique challenges. These forms of grief can be particularly difficult to navigate because they often involve complex emotions and situations. Anticipatory grief, as the name suggests, occurs before the actual loss. This type of grief is common in situations involving terminal illness or impending separation, where individuals begin grieving the anticipated loss while still maintaining a relationship with the person they are losing. It is a complex emotional experience, as people may feel a mix of hope, fear, sadness, and even guilt. They might struggle with the dual reality of cherishing the remaining time while also preparing for the inevitable loss. Complicated grief, on the other hand, arises when the grieving process is prolonged, intense, or debilitating, interfering with daily functioning and preventing healing. This type of grief can feel overwhelming and all-consuming, making it difficult to move forward. Factors contributing to complicated grief include sudden or traumatic loss, lack of support, unresolved trauma, or pre-existing mental health conditions. These factors can exacerbate the intensity of grief, making it harder to cope and find a path to healing. Recognizing the signs of anticipatory and complicated grief is crucial for seeking professional guidance and support tailored to these specific needs. Professional help can provide the necessary tools and strategies to navigate these challenging forms of grief, offering a pathway to understanding and eventual healing. A grounding touchstone for turbulent times. When grief feels overwhelming, grounding exercises can be invaluable tools for managing intense emotions and finding moments of peace. These practices help anchor us in the present, providing a sense of stability amidst the chaos. One such exercise involves mindful breathing with a hand on the heart. This simple yet powerful technique can create a profound sense of connection and calm. Find a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and place one hand gently over your heart. This gesture can be a reminder of self-compassion and care. Take a deep breath in through your nose, feeling your chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Notice the air filling your lungs and the release as you exhale. As you breathe, focus on the sensation of your hand rising and falling with your breath, bringing your attention to the present moment. This focus can help quiet the mind and soothe the spirit. Continue this practice for several minutes, allowing yourself to find solace in the rhythm of your breath and the gentle touch of your hand on your heart. With each breath, let go of tension and invite in a sense of peace and grounding. honoring your individual journey through grief. Grief is not a linear process with a defined endpoint. It is a deeply personal journey with its own unique timeline, ebbs and flows, and expressions. There is no right or wrong way to grieve, and comparing our journeys to others can lead to feelings of inadequacy or pressure to conform to societal expectations. Trust that your grief journey is unfolding as it should, and give yourself permission to experience the full spectrum of emotions that arise without judgment. Remember that healing takes time, and it's okay to seek support along the way. Finding peace in the presence of loss. Grief, while often associated with pain and sorrow, can also be a catalyst for growth, resilience, and a deeper appreciation for life. As we navigate the challenges of loss, we learn to cherish our memories, honor the legacies of those we have lost, and find new meaning and purpose in our lives. Grief teaches us the profound nature of love, the preciousness of time, and the importance of living authentically in the face of life's inevitable losses. Remember, you are not alone in your grief. Reach out to loved ones, support groups, or mental health professionals for guidance and understanding. Embrace your grief journey with compassion, knowing that healing is possible and peace can coexist with loss.